Hello everybody, Dango here. For this week's video, I wanted to talk about some stuff that I have been meaning to talk about for a while. It's nothing bad, of course it's nothing bad, but I wanted to go through some talking points here of how much this journey has meant to me, how much you guys mean to me. I mean, I've already said thanks for a great year in the span of 2 minutes. The reason why that video was made was because I was going to record something for Spotify Wrapped, but I couldn't put it on there because it was more than 30 seconds long. Come on, how short of an attention span do you have to have? But, so I did a shorter version for that, but thank you to all my fans, once again. All of the people who've listened to my music, my friends, my family, my fans, everybody, because you've all played a part in who I am right now, who I am today. I want to talk about first what music is to me. Music, in general, what it means to me. Music is it's a lifeline, a lifesaver, and a lifestyle. Enough said. I can't live without music. I mean, even if nobody listened to my music, I'd still be playing it because that's where I started out, and that's where music stays true to your heart. Is when you know that you are happy with playing it, and that's what I was. I was happy playing music just by myself in my living room. As a matter of fact, I still have my first guitar, this $100 Glary Stratocaster that I got a while back, and it was a lifesaver for me because at the time when I started playing, I was going through a lot, and I had been going through a lot for about a good 2.5 years. It helped me go through a lot of things, process a lot of thoughts. It helped me, figure out who I was as a person as well. A lot of people that I meet, they seem to not understand, what music can be. Because, I don't know, maybe I said that wrong, but music on its own is, it's different for everybody. Some people think of music as a background thing, which especially nowadays, people think of music or they listen to music in the background. It's more of like jazz or whatever, or even nowadays pop. There's a lot more instrumentals in the charts nowadays than there are actual songs with formulas or structures or anything like that. So music has changed a lot, but there are still people out there who think like I do and think of music as, their way of life and their passion and whatnot. That's what music is to me. And it sort of angers me a little bit. I really try and keep my mind open. I really try and keep my head clean. But whenever I come across a person who's ignorant enough to just say music is just a background, I go crazy. All right, I just inside, I just can't process that, And I mean, yes, I can. Could process it, but it just pisses me off, to be honest with you. Because it's telling me, you're sort of telling me, well, fuck what you think is good, because I don't think it's good. I think it's trash. Okay, well, I could say fuck your opinion, but then you get all mad and you go report me, right? Because that's how the world works today. So 2 wrongs don't make a right, as we all probably should know. I don't think that ever goes right at all, 100%. But sometimes the wrong thing is the right thing, because you can't just let things slide all the time. I'm just going to say that. All right, just growing up the way I did, yeah, it's not a good thing to let things slide all the time. This is a video, by the way, that is not going to be edited in any way, shape, or form. This is just a raw cut of me talking about some things. It's sort of like a punch to the face to me, It's like a verbal punch to the face whenever people just say music is just this, just a background noise, or just a workout, supplement or whatever. I'm like, what the hell, is wrong with you? Okay. Here's our next talking point. This year, and I said I've already gone over this on my Thank You for a Great Year video, which if you haven't checked that out already, go check it out. I reached at that time 159 streams on Fill the Air, in the span of 28 days, which for me, that was insane because some songs didn't even have that many streams after being out for like 4 or 5 months. And it was insane, you know, because I had never reached that level of exposure before. Now, the thing is, for that, I sort of made that video a bit too early, I would say. I was thinking of releasing it in December, which is December 2nd right now, but I wasn't sure. So I released the video, and then 2 weeks later, I get an email from Spotify saying you've been chosen by a playlist curator to be on our playlist, you know, and then I get playlisted, put on 6 or 7 different playlists, and I gained like 6,000 streams in like 2 days, and it just kept growing from there, and now Fill the Air is about 15,000 streams, I think. It's insane. I've grown to, right now, I think it's just about almost 2,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Yeah, I was jumping in the pool in 40-degree weather just for 100. What am I going to do for 2,000, you know? So, that was a big step. That was a big leap, actually, for me. Because I was not expecting that at all. And now, here's the thing. With releases, I don't really expect them to do well. I just release them because, like I said, music is just a lifestyle, a lifeline. It's a way to express my emotion, my creative outlet, my ideas that I have, you know, in my head. I put them on the paper. I put them into, you know, notes on the guitar or the bass or the piano or whatever I play, and it goes well. And I don't need it to go hit the charts or whatever. It just, as long as I release it and other people could hear it, and if they could understand what I'm saying, then that's all I ask for. That's what makes me happy. Because not only am I a very deep person when it comes to my creative outlet, I also enjoy expressing that with others. I mean, I care a lot about other people, you know, and what they have to understand about, you know, me or whatever they have to understand about in general. Because I don't know, you could say I'm selfless, you could say I'm selfish, you could say I'm both for all I care, but, you know, in the end, I really just care about everybody, including myself. So, yeah, the shock was really of being playlisted like that and just growing. Like, they have these graphs in Spotify for artists. It was like flatlined, like at the very bottom. Before, I was getting maybe 2 streams a day on that song, 2 to 4 streams a day, maybe, if I was lucky. Some days 0 streams a day. It was on like one personal playlist. Then I saw the graph go up and then up again for the next day, and I was like, what the hell? And it stayed up like that, getting steady about close to 1,000 or 2,000 streams a day until yeah, we hit 10,000 streams, which was just the other day. And maybe 2 days ago we hit 10,000 streams. Now we're already almost 15,000 last time I checked, which was last night. I could be very wrong, you know, at the time, depending on when you're watching this video. Fill the Air could be at 50,000 streams, I wouldn't know. But I'm very thankful. The shock was insane because I woke up one morning and I was being listened to primarily in Poland. I'm not even lying, most of my listeners are in Poland now. And the Czech Republic is almost as much as the United States is, so it's insane. And, you know, it's very shocking. I didn't expect that at all. I mean, getting playlisted, yeah, I'd expect there to be a delay, and, you know, I guess people listen to the playlist a lot, so they just started streaming my song. They're like, okay. I gained a few new followers. It's pretty good. Next thing to talk about, the algorithm. Now, I was going to do this in a separate video. I might still do it in a separate video, but we're going to see. Spotify is changing the way that they pay artists, so basically you have to be Drake to make a good amount of money. They're taking the $10 that you would have made from, let's say, a couple thousand streams, and they're giving it away to the bigger artists. So the artists who are constantly growing are now using Spotify as a form of exposure rather than revenue. I think there are other services that are better for that, like Bandcamp, stuff like that. Even Apple Music is better for revenue because they pay like around 1 cent every like 5 streams or something like that. I forgot what it was, but they're much better than Spotify. Spotify's always been notorious for not paying their, their users, their artists very well. So they're just taking it to the max, I guess. You know, basically not paying most of the artists that deserve to get paid. So what I think is happening is I think they're going to hold all the revenue I got from Fill the Air until 2024 and then just give it away, because I haven't received a single dime of that. Not at all. I look on Spotify, I've made 1 cent from Fill the Air, which is about maybe a few streams that they've actually processed in. So I don't know if they're kicking this in early, but they said 2024. I'm expecting that to be 1/1/24, not 12/2/23. So yeah, that's kind of, it's really weird, because like, I'm not gonna stop doing music. I'm not gonna stop posting my music on Spotify just because they don't pay me, right? Like I said, there's a bright side to it as well. At least you still get exposure. At least there are still hundreds of artists that are getting, discovered every day through playlists, which is basically what's happening with me. My YouTube channel is also growing as well. I made that video about the Beatles a couple weeks ago, or a month ago, maybe, however long ago it was. It's still getting views and comments to this day. I mean, it's close to 20,000 views, which is insane. Yeah, I guess the algorithm is for YouTube it's very interesting, because you have to stay on trends. You have to be consistently uploading, and if you miss like a day of uploading, then you're gonna lose like half of your subscribers. Me personally, I upload on Saturdays. I says that in my bio, one of the first things in my YouTube bio. A new video is every Saturday, and it's people expect that. I try not to make them expect too much, because I only upload on Saturdays. That's why I don't do any extra uploads. I live stream during the week sometimes. That's actually coming to a halt right now, or pause right now, because I have finals to study for, semester finals. And it's weird, because I have to stay on trends all the time, and I don't want to always read the latest Loudwire news article, or the latest, or watch the latest like rock feed video, or one of those news outlet, rock, grunge, metal news outlet, channels or whatever, that just want to farm views and stuff like that. I try and keep my content as like relative to myself as possible, and what affects me and what I do every day and whatever, because I'm not gonna just be a trend hopper, I mean, because trends nowadays move on so quickly. You never know what's gonna happen. I mean, it's not a very safe thing to do, in my opinion, because you say one wrong thing and you're going down. That's why I stick to what I like, and I've got an audience that I'm steadily building up and up and up, of dedicated fans that I hope will stick with me for a while. Yeah, that's really it about the algorithm. I mean, it's just nothing but trend hoppers nowadays. I mean, one guy makes a video with some TikTok dance and posts it on TikTok, and then he gets millions of views. On the other hand, there's a guitarist or any musician that's very proficient at their instrument, and they're playing at levels that only some could dream to play at. And they get maybe 12 likes. It's sad. I know it's sad, but that's just the way the world operates today. We have, I don't want to say evolved. We have devolved into having shorter attention spans. We are constantly being fed short form content that's maybe 30 seconds to a minute long. And that's sadly how long the attention span of somebody is today. That's why when I make videos on Instagram and they get a lot of like views or, attention, it's probably because they're a reel and not an actual post or an actual video that I post on Instagram. It's, because the videos I do post get maybe 2 likes, and the reels I post of me just playing some random chugs get like thousands of views, and got celebrities liking it and stuff like that. And Marty Schwartz liking my stories. I'm like, okay. But it's a bit weird. It's really weird, actually. Which takes me to the next point. Like I said earlier, I did music. I started playing music as a creative outlet, as a way to express my emotions. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my music journey. I started before before I started playing the guitar. I went through a few instruments over the course of a few years, like the piano and the drums. I think the guitar is actually really what stuck with me. I mean, I still play those instruments, those other instruments. Yeah, that's when I record. The guitar is my main instrument. I sing as well. That's also an instrument that I utilize a lot. I love playing music. I love singing and playing the guitar, and I love, just doing everything that has to do within those two, instruments, two talents. I started out 3 years ago, actually. Yeah, this month it's 3 years. I got my first guitar on December 20th, 2023, so it's just about 3 years I've been playing guitar. Like I said, it's this one right here that I got for like $109 on Glary.com, because I saw their, I was looking for guitars at the time. I saw their website and I was like, why not? What actually got me into guitar, or who actually got me into guitar, was my grandfather, my grandpa Robert. He has like 14, he had like 14 or 15 guitars. Like, he played it, he knew how to play every single one of them. He had a bunch of instruments in his room, he knew how to play every single one of them, It's just a very musical family, very musical background. And he sort of inspired me to do that. At first, I wanted to play piano like Freddie Mercury, right? And then I hopped off of that, went to the drums, decided no, and I looked at all the guitars on his wall, picked up a little nylon classical guitar that was missing one string, and within like 10 minutes I already knew like 5 like open chords and stuff like that. And then I put it down for a while, got my first guitar later that year, and then that's when I really started learning. From that point on, I was in my bedroom with this thing unplugged every single day, playing scales or, chords or songs, mostly Nirvana songs I liked playing for 6 to 7 hours a day. I'd be on my Xbox playing songs with my friends or whatever, Eventually I started singing along with them as well, and yeah, that was whenever it really took off for me, because I just, really opened up a new world of possibilities for me with music. I mean, that's when I really started thinking of it as more of an expression, a really like an actual lifestyle. That was pretty good. I'd say my first guitar hero, besides my grandfather, had to be Brian May of Queen. He's big inspiration to me. Really, he is, and I don't know where I would be without him. His solos are so like out of this world. It's to the point where even the haters were saying we don't think he's a real guitar player because he doesn't use the pentatonic scale like we do. I think it's just like when you're an astrophysicist and you play guitar, you're going to sound like a freaking alien playing the thing. That's not a bad thing at all. That's actually what got me into him. I think not only that, but like the beauty of his solos. I mean, the first solo that I can remember that really got me into him was Play the Game. It's so like, even though it's barely any like shreddy things or whatever, it's so like beautiful, like I feel every note of that, and that's what got me into other things like B.B. King and the blues and the soul and funk and jazz, and then eventually metal, the grunge and punk and all that other stuff. A bunch of music that I listen to today, still listen to this day, because you can never really stick with one genre, in my opinion. It's like I enjoy guitar music is what I say whenever people ask me what music I like. I enjoy guitar music. Put anything on by Wes Montgomery or Les Paul himself, or Jimi Hendrix, or even Metallica or Pantera or Cannibal Corpse. It goes all the way through that whole field of guitar music. I go from the softest to the heaviest, I mean, and not just one time period either. I go from all the way back 1930s when Robert Johnson was, inventing or, modernizing the blues, and then all the way up now, with the likes of like Greta Van Fleet and I think Slipknot's still putting out stuff, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know exactly what's happening with them, but we've got other bands as well that are coming out, new bands that are coming out of like local music scenes that are emerging, getting more and more famous. I'm a heavy supporter of local bands as well. And I'm also trying to, be one of those. I'm trying to hop on that train, of road to success. I'm trying to work my way to making it in the music scene. Right now, I think I've got a half decent local following, and I've got a pretty good amount of people who are going to stick around to see what I have in store, which just really it makes me very happy to know that. You really have to start weed whacking? Okay. Somebody weed whacking out there. I'm so blessed to be able to do this. I mean, sitting in my bedroom half the time for a career is like, is a blessing, because I just have to wake up, open Reaper, and load up a guitar, a guitar track, and turn on my amp, and then just start recording, And then, I've got a work of art in like a few minutes. And now it seems like it's a very, seems like I'm putting it down. I'm not. I'm saying this is one of the best things I could be doing, if not the best. And I'm so happy that I can do music the way I do today. I never thought I would be in a position where I would be able to. And it's always been a dream of mine to make it big in the music scene. Ever since I started playing, I wanted to play guitar like Brian May or Jimi Hendrix or Tony Iommi, or even like Dimebag Darrell, Jimmy Page. Yeah, the list goes on. I mean, and I also wanted to sing as sing like Freddie Mercury or Aretha Franklin or Phil Anselmo. I mean, they say a jack of all trades is a master of none, but really, I'm not a jack of all trades, because there's a billion other genres out there that I do not like, do not listen to. And if you have a problem with that, fuck you, all right? You could click off the video right now, because if I haven't made my point clear, I don't like modern music as much as other people do. I think music nowadays, like I said earlier, is more of a background thing and less of a, engaging thing. People listen to music because of the beat, which is sort of a tradition of all music, really. If it sounds good, you're going to dance to it, right? You're not going to dance because it's in a certain key, but if it's really just trap beats over somebody talking with auto-tune and rhythmic sections, like just listen to an audiobook that has African like bongo narratives in it. I'm just saying, bro, like it's not that hard to play music, or listen to good music, at least, if you don't want to play it, which is not for everybody. No one person is gonna always know somebody who plays music, Some people don't even listen to music, which is completely fine, because if they don't listen to music, why is it going to affect me? Why should I tell them to listen to music if they don't listen to it in the first place? I'm not going to change their ways. Just one person. And I'm not somebody who believes in changing other people's things or taking matters in my own hands, in that sense, at least. If it's something I can't control, yes, I will control it as much as I'd like. I'm not going to say I won't abuse it. I will not abuse it. Did I say that right? I'm not going to abuse it if it's something I can control, but I will control it to my liking. And if it's something I can't control, well then, shit, it is what it is, all right? That's all I could say, because I'm not going to fight a battle I'm not going to win. I'm that kind of guy. I don't surrender if I know I can win, but I'm not going to fight if I can't. So that's the way I am. And I try and be as honest as I can, as, try and stay as humble as I can, because I don't come from a good background. I mean, I come from family who love me. That's all I need. But I've been raised in the streets, basically. I didn't know how to act for most of my life until maybe about 3 years ago. Then everything changed, and that was that was when I started playing music. I'm telling you, it's really just amazing the impact that music has had on me. And I don't even think anybody, even my close family, will understand that today or tomorrow, or I don't know about ever, but it's everything to me. And I have other dreams, like joining the Navy and being a lawyer and all this stuff. I going to say safely that if music doesn't work out, I'm still going to be happy with it. And I'm still going to have my other dreams, right? Because there are multiple things that I have to fall back on. And I'm never going to go broke because I know what the value of a dollar is. I don't like going without food, a roof over my head's, my head semi-hydra, no. Roof over my head, water, the AC, it's all the utilities. I really do know what they mean. And I do understand the value of them because I've been without all of those things I just said. I've seen the dusty old trail, we'll just say that, and where I am right now is a blessing on its own. That's about it, man. I just want to say, these past 3 years have been like nothing else. And I don't know if I don't know where it's going to end. I don't know if it will end. This chapter in my life, it just seems like it's going to get better from here. And I'm so glad that all of you want to stay here and you know, be here along the way for that. I am thankful. Thank you all. I've gained as much perspective, as much empathy as I would need for 60 years worth of normal life. I would say that I have been told by other people, by grown adults, and I'm not bragging when I say this, but I have been told that I am a 35-year-old man inside the body of a 15-year-old. And most people don't know why, because I don't tell everybody in my business, but and you may not even hear what I've gone through, ever. I'm just not that kind of guy who shares all their info online, you know? That's about it. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, you're a legend. And I just want to say thank you all for being there along the way. It really means a lot. Thank you.